Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
Concerned Niger Deltans have called for a possible reconstitution of the board of the newly unveiled Nigerian National Petroleum Company Nnpc Limited. This follows the appointment of one director representing the South-South geopolitical zone into an 11-member governing board of Nigeria's foremost oil company.
Sometime in 1977, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (Nnpc) was established through an act of parliament as a regulator in the petroleum industry with vested powers to engage in commercial activities relating to the sector. After many years of mismanagement, the Nnpc was on the 1st of July this year transformed from a state-run oil corporation into a commercial venture whose operations and activities are now regulated by the Companies and Allied Matters Act. Consistent with provisions of the Petroleum Industry Act 2021, the transformation of Nigeria's National Oil Corporation into a limited liability company is to allow it operate at optimal capacity and deliver value to its over 200 million Nigerian shareholders, as President Muhammadu Buhari disclosed recently while unveiling the Nnpc Limited.
Nnpc Limited will operate as a commercial, independent, and viable national oil company at par with its peers around the world to sustainably deliver value to its over 200 million shareholders and the global energy community.
For obvious reasons, Niger Deltans are not convinced that they stand to benefit from the goodies to be delivered by the newly unveiled Nnpc Limited. This is as a result of the lopsided constitution of the 11-member board, which has 7 directors and a company secretary representing Nigeria's north, while the southeast was given 2 slots. In the board of the Nnpc Limited, Nigeria's southwest and south-south both have a single director, a situation that continues to irk most Niger Deltans. A political commentator resident in Nigeria's oil belt, Comrade Chioma Agbaruka, describes the board constitution as skewed in disfavor of the South-South geopolitical zone, which produces the bulk of Nigeria's oil and gas revenues.
Very, 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 very unfair. It would have been the other way around and not the way it is now. Giving a whole South-South, just one membership, that is unfair treatment to the Niger Delta where I come from. Our elite is now for them to rise, irrespective of political affiliation, to rise to the occasion and make sure that this injustice is stopped now.
The Nnpc Limited was incorporated with 200 billion naira ordinary shares vested equally with now incorporated Federal Ministries of Finance and Petroleum Resources. Its chief executive officer, Mr. Mele Kyari, says the company is collectively owned by Nigerians. However, President of the Ogoni Youths Federation, Comrade Legbosi Yamabana, is worried that what is now Africa's biggest oil company is dominated and controlled by a section of the country. Comrade Yamabana's concern is that the recent appointments into the board of the Nnpc Limited violates the federal character principle as enshrined in Section 14, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution.
It appears, that the government is taking an old wine to pour in a new bottle. The top management staffs of the Nnpc of yesterday is still the same. The only thing that changes was the nomenclature. We are saying that in the spirit and letters of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is the grand norm, which talks about federal character, that should be respected.
Also worried by the uneven geographical representation on the board of the Nnpc Limited, Chief John Nelson, a Port Harcourt-based businessman, calls for his immediate reconstitution.
We'll let them know that we're not happy. We'll let them know to reverse whatever they have done and reverse it to balance it equitably and give us what is appropriate our own rightful shares in that board, in that company that they have so formed without even letting us know what they are doing is the outcome we have seen, and which is not an ideal situation in a country of six regions.
While the Nigerian authorities appear excited about the birthing of Nnpc Limited as a new dawn in the long search for growth and development in the oil and gas industry, it is certainly not a welcome development for oil-producing communities in the Niger Delta, whose stake may have been significantly eroded in a sector that is generally regarded as the country's cash cow.
Inside the Niger Delta,